Hello everyone, just let me know whether my screen is visible and voice is clearly audible to you or not. Okay, thank you. We'll just wait for a minute and then we will start our today's discussion. Okay, then good afternoon to all. Start our today's discussion. So we are actually discussing unit number 6, that is sequential. We have already the first 2 points, right? The difference between asynchronous and synchronous sequential circuits. And also we have seen different types of asynchronous counters as well. So in asynchronous counters, we have seen up counter, down counter, and mod counter. Okay. So mod counter is nothing but counter. The counter will count as per your requirement. Okay, you can design your counter in order to go through the you can say different number of states. Okay, depending on your requirement, right? So if you want mod 10 or mod 6 counter, then also you design it with the help of mod counter. So basically mod counter is nothing but either up counter or down counter, right? But just the additional combinational circuit has been used in mod counter. Okay. Generally, this mod counter will have some combinational circuit in the form of logic gates. So we have already seen the mod 6 counter and mod 10 counter, and in that mod 6 and mod 10 counter, we have used NAND gate as an extra combinational circuits. Okay. So what was the use of that NAND gate? It was used to skip the remaining states. So for example, while discussing 4-bit or while discussing decade counter, for example, that is mod 10 counter, we have required or we have designed our counter in such a way that it has to be 4-bit. Mod counter, suppose mod 10 counter was there, so you require total number of flip-flops. Okay. So 4 number of flip nothing but will give you total 16 states, right? Starting from 0 to 15. But we want only states because our counter was mod. So that's why what we have done, we have skipped remaining 6 states. Okay. And how we have achieved that? We have used one NAND gate we have used, and it was connected to Q4 and Q2. So basically mod counter only, but the only thing is whichever states you have to skip, you have to use suitable logic for that. Uh, in today's session regarding the shift register. What are shift registers and the working of shift registers? We will see all these 4 different types of shift registers as well. Serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, and parallel in, parallel out. Okay. So now we will start our discussion regarding shift registers. So what are shift registers actually? We will just discuss these few points. Used to store a single bit of binary data. We have also called flip-flop as 1-bit cell, 1-bit memory cell, right? So one flip-flop can store a single bit of data. It can be either 1 or 0. However, in order to store multiple bits of data, we need multiple. Okay, so one flip-flop can store 1 bit of data, but in order to store multiple bits of data, you will require multiple flip-flops. We have discussed that n flip-flops are to be connected in order to store n bit of data. Okay, that means one flip-flop will store 1 bit, 2 flip-flop will store 2 bit of data, and so on. 3 will store 3. Okay, so always remember that n flip-flops are to be connected. So if you want to store, suppose 10 bit of data, it is your requirement that you have to store 10 data. Then how many flip-flops you need to use? You need to use total 10 flip-flops. Okay, so n flip-flops will give you, it is used to n bits data. Then a register. What is register? A register is a device which is used to store information. Okay, so basically register is a group of flip-flops that connect in series to store the multiple bits of data. This is very important definition. What do you mean by register? So register is basically a group of flip-flops. Okay, registers is nothing but group of flip-flops connected in series. And why it is used? It is used to store the multiple bits of data. Okay. So the information stored within register can be transferred with the help of shift register. Now we have understood what are registers. Register are nothing but the group of flip-flops connected in, okay, which is used to store multiple bits of data. One flip-flop will store only one data. So this information, this stored information can be transferred with the help of shift register. So again, you can shift register, which is used to store multiple bits of data only. What is shift register? It is similar to the register also, because but only the difference is using shift register, the transfer is possible, the transfer of information within the register. So shift register is basically a group of flip-flops used to store multiple bits of data, and in this shift register, using shift register, you can transfer the data as well. All right. So the bits stored in such register can be made to move within the registers and in or out of the register by applying clock pulses. So the information which you have stored in terms of bits in the register, this information can be transferred. Information can be moved within the registers by applying the clock pulses. Pulses are important. Only after you give the clock, the information will be moved from one place to another, or it will be transferred. Okay. So in order to transfer the information or the bit which are you have stored in the registers, you have to apply the clock pulses to your registers, right? So n bit of it is already discussed this point, but it is again very important that n bit shift register can be formed by connecting n flip flops, where each flip flop stores a bit of data. Okay, so this is very important. So the prime important, the main function of your register is shift register is it is used to store the data, multiple bits of data. Just remember that. And the data between the register can be also transferred. It can be moved from input to output. So now we will see again a few points regarding shift register. We will see. Okay. So shift register is basically consist of several D flip flops. So in our discussion, we have taken diagrams in which shift registers are consist of D flip flops. But always remember that in shift register can be also designed using SR flip flop as well as JK flip flop as well. Okay, but for our discussion, we are taking the shift registers using D flip flops. In many books, you might have, if you have seen the many books, then there will be shift registers using JK flip flop as well as SR flip flop also. So you can refer it. The basic principle behind that will be the same. Okay. If you are using in the shift register, then you have to know the truth table of D flip flop. If you are using JK flip flop, then you will have to remember the truth table and working of JK flip flop. Okay. So for our discussion, we are considering that shift register basically consists of 6 D flip flops, one for each data bit. Always remember this. Either a logic 0 or 1. Connected together in series arrangement so that the output of D flip-flop becomes the input of next flip-flop and so on. Okay. So the shift register, if you have taken, suppose I want to design 2-bit shift register. So I have to take how many D flip-flops? 2 flip-flops, 2 D flip-flops, and it should be connected in such a way that the output of first flip-flop should be input to the second flip-flop. Okay. If I want to design 3-bit shift register, then I want to connect one shift register, or I want to connect one more D flip-flop, and it should be connected in such a way that the output of second should be the input of first. So this is in series arrangement. Okay. Then the data bits may be fed in or out of the shift register serially or in parallel combination. So what do you mean by serial combination and parallel combination? Let's say I'm treating this one block as my 4-bit shift register. Let's say. Now what do you mean by 4-bit shift register? That this block will store 4-bit of number. Okay. So you have to now give the input. The numbers or the bits which you want to store. Let's, for the sake of understanding, we will say that I want to store 4 bits such as 1111 into this shift register. Okay. So you have to give input to this block, this square or this shift register. You can give it serially, that is one by one you can feed your input. First bit will be 1, then second bit you will send, then third, and then fourth. So this particular arrangement or this particular sequence, it is called as, or this configuration is called as serial configuration. Okay. You are sending your bits one by one. If you are sending your bits one by one, then it will be called as serial combination or serial configuration. Okay. On the other hand, same thing you can do. Suppose I'm again taking this as shift register, but now I'm taking 4 inputs. Okay. So I can clearly give 1 1 1 1 like this also. So this configuration is nothing but configuration. You are applying 4 inputs, 4 different inputs you are giving simultaneous inputs. Okay, so one has been fed in parallel configuration, whereas here only one input was there, and in this one input what you have done, you have sent this 4 bits serially. You will send first this bit, and then second bit, then third bit, and then fourth bit. So this configuration is nothing but serial configuration, and whereas if you give simultaneous inputs, then this configuration will be called as parallel configuration. So I hope you got the difference between serial configuration and parallel configuration. Okay. So this point explain you the same, that the data bits which you will be storing, that data bits can be fed into the shift register either serially or parallelly. Similarly, you can also take your output serially as well as parallelly. You know? So suppose this is our register again, just for the sake of understanding. Suppose my register is n-bit register. What do you mean by n-bit register? That means it will consist of total n flip-flops, and it will use to store n bits. Okay. So now, how many configuration can be possible here will depend on whether you are feeding your input in serial or parallel combination. Similarly, whether you are retrieving or you are taking out your output in serial or parallel configuration. So again, you have two options. Either you can fade or either you can give input serially. Okay, I'm talking about input section now. So in input section, you can give your input serially. Serially means you will just give the data bits, data sequence here, and only one input you will use. This is called as serially. But you can also give input parallelly as well. So for parallelly, what you have to do, you have to use more number of inputs. And suppose I have to send three inputs, then how will you send it? You will give the value of that particular input at the same time. Okay. So in input section also, you can send input either serially or parallelly. Similarly, you can collect output either serially or parallelly. Okay. So we will see what do you mean by serially and parallelly in more detail in coming slides. Okay. So don't worry about it. Just remember what this point indicates, that the input which you are giving to your shift register, it can be given serially or parallelly. Similarly, the output also you can collect serially or parallelly. So what do you mean by parallel configuration? When all the inputs or outputs are collected together at the same time. So same time you will get all the inputs. But in serially, your output or input, you have to collect one by one. Okay, that is one after the other. Right. Then again, the important thing, the shift registers are used for data storage or the movement of data, and are therefore commonly used inside calculators or computers to store the data, such as two binary numbers before they added together, or to convert the data from either serial to parallel or parallel to serial format. So this basically point will tell you about its application. So since shift register is used to store data storage, and also it is used to move the data. So basically its application found in case of computers. You might have seen that while studying 8085 microprocessor, there are different types of registers. Okay. So these are nothing but the same. So this shift register can be used in the calculators and computers to store the data. Also, you might have seen that in microprocessor, generally we do different types of arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, right? So whenever you want to add two bits, let's say you want to add two 4 bits. For example, one 4-bit number is 1111 and other 4-bit number is 0101. Okay. So in order to do this addition, you need to store this 4-bit number into the register first. And then you will do the addition, and again the answer which you are getting, it will be again stored into another register. Okay, so the register is very important in case of computers or microprocessors. Again, another application or another advantage or another use of this shift register is it can convert the data from serial to parallel or parallel to serial. Okay, so it may be you may be requiring that your input, whatever input you are getting, it is in serial format, and now if you need to convert it into the parallel format, then for that purpose also shift registers are used. Okay, so these are two main applications of the shift register. Now, the D flip-flops that make your shift register are all driven by the common clock signal, making the shift register as synchronous device. Okay, so right at the starting discussion, at the starting of the asynchronous counter, we have seen the difference between asynchronous and synchronous, and the difference was whether there is a counter or there is a shift register. In that, what will be the basic unit? Basic unit will be flip-flop. Okay, so your circuit will be called as asynchronous or it will be called as synchronous depending on the how you are applying the clock pulse. If you're applying the clock pulse to, if you are connected, the number of flip-flops, if you are connected, for example, if two number of flip-flops have been used, either it could be counter or shift register. Suppose I have used only two flip-flops and now these are the clock signal. Okay, so this I am denoting is the clock signal as C. So what do you mean by asynchronous? If the output of first is given as the clock of the second. If the output of first flip-flop is given as the clock of the second, then it will be called as asynchronous. On the other hand, if the clock of first flip-flop and the clock of second flip-flop connected together, you can observe this is connected together, then it will be called as synchronous. That means you are applying the clock signal simultaneously to all the flip-flops. Okay. So in shift register, we will observe that suppose there are 4 flip-flops, so you will observe that for all 4 flip-flops, the clock will be given simultaneously. Clock will be given simultaneously to all the flip-flops. So that's why it is called as synchronous device. Okay. So generally, shift register can be operated in one of the 4 different modes, and these 4 different modes are mentioned here. Depending on whether your input is serial or parallel, and whether your output is serial or parallel. Okay. So total 4 combinations are possible. So out of the first combination is serial in, serial out. Okay. So what it means? Serial in means the input you are giving as in serial configuration. So input you are giving in serial configuration. Okay. 1010. That means you are sending your bits, data bits, one after the other. Is called as serial in. Serial in to serial out. That means your output is also serial. Your input is also serial and your output is also serial. So it is called as SISO. Okay. So data is shifted serially in and out of the register one bit at a time in either left or right direction under the control of clock. But obvious, your working will be under the or in the sync with clock signal. Okay, so either you can follow this direction, serial in, serial out, this direction, that is left direction, you can go in the right direction, sorry, it is right direction, or you can go in the left direction as well. Okay. So what do you mean by serial in and serial out? That means your input is also serially, you are feeding input as serial and your output is also serial. I think we have one diagram over here. Yes. So you can observe here, this is the case of serial in, serial out shift register. So let's say it is 4-bit shift register. So 4-bit shift register will store 4 bits, right? You can observe 4 blocks are given here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can treat these 4 blocks as 4 flip-flops, and each flip-flop will store 1 bit. Okay, so 4 bit will store, 4 flip-flop will store 4 bits. So here it can be clearly seen that in serial out shift register, the flow of your information or the flow of your data will be like this. It will go serially in, and the output will be also in serial fashion you want to collect. Okay. Then the next is serial in to parallel out, that is SIPO. So as its name indicate, the input will be faded in serially. Okay, so input is faded in serially. That means suppose this is your register, so input given is serially, but now output is taken as parallel. So if it is 4 bit, then there will be 4, just a second, 4 output bits, right? So serial in parallel out means only one input will be there, and the data will be going into the serial fashion, but output you can take it as a parallel combination. Output you can take it in parallel combination. So this is mean by serial in and parallel out shift register. So same thing have been explained here. Register is loaded with the serial data, 1 bit at a time, with stored data being available at output in parallel form. Okay, so again we will see its flow. So this is nothing but serial in parallel out. So you can observe the data input is in the serial fashion. This red arrow has been mentioned here. So this red arrow is nothing but data input will be in serial fashion, but output you can take it simultaneously from 4 different outputs, or from the 4 outputs of 4 flip-flops. Okay, so you can observe serial in but parallel out. Similarly, the third one is parallel in and serial out. So this is the input. The input will be faded parallelly to all the flip-flops, but output is taken at only using one terminal. So it is nothing but parallel in, serial out. And again, last one is parallel in, parallel out. That means input is faded in parallel fashion, as well as output is also faded in parallel. Output is also collected, or output is also retrieved in parallel fashion or in parallel configuration. Okay, so I hope you got this difference between different configurations of shift registers. So depending on how you are inputting your data, or how you are collecting your output, depending on that, there are 4 different types of shift registers: serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, and parallel in, parallel out. So this is just a representation. We will see each of these in a great detail. Okay. So if you are having any query or any doubt until this point, so you can ask me, you can write in the chat box as well. What we have seen so far, we have started our discussion regarding shift registers. So we have seen a few points regarding shift registers. Important point you should remember, that what are shift registers? So shift register is basically used to store multiple bits of data. Okay, and to store multiple bits of data, you will require multiple number of flip-flops. Again, in shift register, you can also transfer your information. You can also transfer your uh, bits of data. That transfer can be happen within the shift register or in and out of the shift register. And this movement or this transfer is controlled by the clock pulses, right? Again, the important thing is it is a synchronous device. That means for all flip-flops, the clock signal will be applied simultaneously. Unlike what we have discussed so far, in asynchronous counter, if you remember what we have seen, the input of first, the output of first flip-flop was a clock signal to second flip-flop, right? And output of second was the clock signal to third. So this type of configuration is nothing but asynchronous. But in shift register, what we are doing, we are applying the clock signal simultaneously. Okay, so shift register is synchronous in nature, whereas asynchronous counter are but obvious asynchronous in nature. Now again, these four types are important. Whether you are feeding your input serially or parallelly, and whether you are collecting your output serially or parallelly, depending on that, four different types of shift registers can be formed: serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, parallel in, parallel out. What is the difference between, again, I'm highlighting this point. What is the difference between serial configuration and parallel configuration? When you are giving your input or output serially, that means you are giving one bit at a time. Okay, so if your sequence is 1010, then 1 will be shifted first and then 0, then 1 and then 0. The input will be only 1. But what do you mean by parallel combination? There will be multiple inputs or outputs, okay, and the data will be available simultaneously. Data will not be one after other, it will be available simultaneously. So this is about the types of shift register. If you are having any difficulty or any query, you can ask me. We will just wait here for a couple of minutes. Okay, just let me know whether you have understood this particular point. Shall we move it? You can give your feedback in the chat box. Okay. So now we will see the first type, that serial in to serial out shift register. That means here the input as well as output is taken at in the serial configuration or the serial fashion. So now we will see it in detail. Shift register which allows the serial input one bit after the other through a single data line. What do you mean by serial input? Serial output? Serial, the word serial means one bit after the other. Okay, through a single data line, and produces a serial output is known as serial in, serial out shift register. The logic circuit given this logic circuit, it is but 4-bit serial in, serial out shift register. Verify whether it is 4-bit or not. So you have to just count the number of flip-flops used. So you can observe here 4 D flip-flops. So this is nothing but D. Okay, 4 D flip-flops have been used here. So that's why it will be 4-bit serial in, serial out shift registers. You can observe this is the input, data input pin, and this one is data output pin. Okay, so actually this complete circuit will be in one box or in one block, and these are internally connected. Okay, so it will not be visible to you. What will be visible to you? Only one input, that is serial data in, and one output, that is serial data out. Of course clock will be there as well. So now if you again observe this particular diagram, then you can observe the output of first flip-flop, flip-flop A. It is our first flip-flop. So the output of first flip-flop, that is Q, it is directly connected to the input D of second flip-flop. So we know D flip-flop, right? We have already seen the working of D flip-flop. Okay. So here we are using 4 D flip-flops. So the output of first D flip-flop is given as the input to the second D flip-flops. Output of second is given as the input to the third D flip-flop, and the output of third D flip-flop is given as the input to the fourth D flip-flop. This your input. Okay, this is this terminal, that is input to the flip-flop A is the data input, whereas the output of flip-flop D, it is your shift register output. Okay, so this is shift register input and it is shift register output. These are internal connections. All three, these are internal connections. Again, if you observe, this is the clock signal. So this clock pin of all the flip-flops are connected together. Okay, the clock pins of all the flip-flops are connected together, and a single clock is applied simultaneously. So this connection is nothing but it indicates that our shift register is synchronous in nature. Why synchronous? Again, because the clock signals are applied simultaneously. Okay. So these are few details regarding the circuit. So we have seen the circuit description. Now we will see the operation of circuit, how it actually works. So this is the working operation. So we will just see how it is working, and then we will again see it using the circuit diagram. So the first is serial data is applied at the input of the first flip-flop. So for shift register, what is the input of shift register? I have already told you. Input of shift register is nothing but this. This in this terminal, that is the input of first flip-flop. That is input of flip-flop A is nothing but the data input of the shift register. Okay. And what is output of shift register? The output signal, that is Q terminal of your fourth flip-flop. That is flip-flop D is the output terminal of your shift register, 4-bit SISO shift register. Okay. Again, the same thing which you have already seen, it is written here. The Q output of flip-flop A is connected to the D input of flip-flop B. The output of A is connected to the output of B. Similarly, output of B is connected to the D input of output C, flip-flop C. Okay. And again, the Q output of flip-flop C is connected to the input of flip-flop D. Finally, the data is outputted from the Q terminal of last flip-flop, that is flip-flop D. Data कहाँ से मिल data, you are getting data from the output. Just a second. Okay, here you are getting data output at the output of last flip-flop. Okay. When serial data is transferred into register, each new bit is clocked into the first flip-flop at the positive edge of each clock pulse. Now we will see how it is actually working. We will explain this diagram with the help of only one single sequence, and let us assume that initially all flip-flops are initially reset. That means the output of all flip-flops will be 0 0 0 0 initially. Okay. Now my input is, I want to transmit only one bit, that is logic high I want to transmit, or bit 1 I want to transmit. Now how it will be transferred into this particular 4-bit shift register, we will see that. So before going to that, you should remember the operation of D flip-flop. So always when the value of D is 0, then you will get output as 0. If you observe the truth table of D flip-flop, then you can remember that when D equals to 0, then Q will be 0. Similarly, when D equals to 1, then Q will be also 1. So it is quite simple. That means the output of flip-flop will simply copy the input. If input is 1, then output is 1. If input is 0, the output is 0. Okay. So initially, our sequence was 0 0 0 0. You can remember this. Now, I have given input as 1. So now what will happen? After the application of this clock, it can be negative age trigger or it can be positive age trigger. Okay, it doesn't matter. Only after the application of clock, what will happen? So if you observe, this is given to all 4 flip-flops. Why clock is necessary? Because only after the application of clock, output state will vary. Okay. When you apply this clock simultaneously, this clock will be given at all 4 flip-flops, D flip-flops. Okay. Now see here, observe, it is interesting. And as soon as you are giving clock, what will happen? Now, what is the input of this flip-flop A? What is the input of this flip-flop A? It is 1. So whenever the flip-flop input is 1, output will be also 1. So when clock is applied, or at the arrival of first clock, let's assume that it is first clock, then this 1 will be collected at the output. Because D is equals to 1, this input is nothing but D. So since D is 1, output will be 1. For this flip-flop B, what was the input? Input was, it is nothing but the output of first flip-flop, that is 0. So now its output be 0. Similarly, what was the input to flip-flop C? It was this 0. Okay, so output you are getting 0, and finally you are getting 0 again. Okay, so initially our sequence was 0 0 0 0. Then we are simply transferring a single bit. What will happen? 1 0 0 0 0. Now suppose after this 1 equals 1, I am transmitting 0. So now my input is 0 here, 0 bit. So now at the arrival of second, this first is there. Now second clock is applied. So now what is the input to this flip-flop A? It is 0. So I am getting 0. But now what is the flip-flop B input? It was 1. Okay. Initially it was. So again here it will be 1. Here it will be 0. Here it will be 0. You can observe this 1 is shifted here from here to here. Again it will shift for the next clock cycle, it will shift here, and in the next clock cycle it will shift at the output. Okay. So basically whatever input you are giving, it is shifting from input to output in such a manner. It will be more clear to you when you study the waveform. Here same thing it is explained here. Initially QA was 1, then for the next clock pulse it becomes QB becomes 1, then QC, and then QD. The output of A flip-flop is nothing but QA, the output of flip-flop B is QB, output of flip-flop C is QC, and output of flip-flop D is QD. Here we have used positive edge trigger. That means all the outputs will vary only at the positive edge of the clock. This is the data input. Okay, that means input to the first flip-flop. You can observe initially all outputs are 0 0 0 0. Observe here, all are 0 0 0 0. But when the arrival of first positive clock edge happens, just observe the data for this, data input for this. At the arrival of first positive output or first positive edge of the clock, the D is nothing but 1. Okay, so this data input is nothing but input to the first D flip-flop. So what will be its output? Its output will be also 1, right? So it will remain as it is until the arrival of next clock signal. Okay. So after that, at this particular point, if you observe here, what is D here? D is nothing but 0. So it will simply emit the data input and it will remain 0. Here it is toggling. Remember that in counter it was in toggling mode, but here we are using D flip-flop, not T flip-flop. So it will simply follow this data input. QA will simply follow data input because this data input is nothing but D. Okay, data input is nothing but input of your first flip-flop. So it will simply follow this signal. And similarly, in the next clock pulse, what will happen? The output of this, it is the output of QA, is nothing but input to QB. Okay, so in the next clock signal, the output of this clock will, the output of this flip-flop will be 1. Then it will be the output of flip-flop C will be 1 on the arrival of third clock pulse. And finally, this output, this data input which you have given as 1, it will be collected at the output from QD on the fourth clock cycle. Okay, so this 1 has been shifted from one flip-flop to another in such manner, and finally you can take it or you can collect it at the output. Okay, so this is the working of serial in, serial out. So basically, whatever is this waveform has been given. So this waveform is nothing but in order to show the propagation of logic 1 through the resistors. Okay, so how the logic 1 is propagating, or how a single bit is propagating within the resistor. It is the truth table and waveform for that. Okay, so I hope it is understood to you. We will again see it in the next lecture as well, so don't worry about it. So few points were remaining on this slide. Okay, so the bit that was previously stored by flip-flop A is transferred to B. Okay, so after each clock pulse, what will happen? The output of A will be output of B, output of B will be output of C, and output of C will be output of D. So after each clock pulse, the output which was earlier of output of flip-flop A, then at the next clock pulse, it will become the output of flip-flop B. Okay, then again one clock pulse will arrive, then the output of flip-flop B will become the output of flip-flop C. Again next, at the next clock pulse, the output of flip-flop C will be nothing but output of flip-flop D. It will continue, and if you observe, the bits are simply moving from one flip-flop to the next flip-flop. Okay, initially it was in the input, then after first clock pulse it becomes the output of first flip-flop, then in second clock pulse it becomes the output of second flip-flop, then at the third clock pulse it becomes the third flip-flop, and finally you are getting it at the output after the arrival of fourth clock pulse. Okay, anyway, we will see it in again, we will discuss this particular topic one more time. So if you are having any query or any doubt, you can ask me, otherwise we will conclude our today's discussion. So thank you.